Welcome to Physics Can Be Fun with me, Stephen Thomas. In this lesson we're going to look at how we name something, a molecule as long and let's say horrible looking as this. We're going to use the UPAC rules for naming organic compounds. And I thought I'd just throw you in at the deep end with this long molecule. The first thing I want to point out to you is here we have a regular chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carbons long. And I want you to notice this functional group here. Right, it's on this end. What is it? C double bond OOH. Well, you should know by now that this is, with 8 carbons, octanoic acid. Because it's an 8 carbon long chain. But it's got all these substituent things added in place of the hydrogen. And there's a UPAC convention for naming anything that's got this double carbon branch is called an ethyl branch. Ethyl comes from ethane, which is 2 carbon chain, but with the ending of ethane changed to ethyl. Likewise, a single carbon chain looks like methane, methyl. So this is called a methyl group. Fluorine, when we add it onto a chain, we call it fluoro. Bromine, bromo, and chlorine, chloro. So the name of the halogens changes to not bromine, but bromo, fluoro, chloro. And so we're going to use this to name all the bits and pieces that have been added to octanoic acid. Now, we start numbering the carbons from the functional group, which happens to be on this side. So that's carbon number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and carbon number 8. And also something we've got to keep in mind is that all these things are going to be named in alphabetical order. So of them all, bromine is the lowest in the alphabet. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, bromo. 3 dash bromo dash. I'm going to move this out of the way because we're going to need a lot of room here. Next comes chlorine, B, C. 8 dash chloro dash. Then comes fluorine. But we've got these ethyl groups, which comes, E comes before F. So we've got on number 5 and number 7 an ethyl group. So we're going to say 5, 7 dash ethyl. But if we've got 2 of them, we've got to say diethyl. So there's on 5 and 7 are ethyl groups. 5, 7 diethyl dash. Now what comes after E? We've got fluorine. 2 dash fluoro dash. And now we've got the methyl groups, right? So I'm going to have to carry on here. The methyl groups are on 4 and on 6. 4, 6, separate 2 numbers together. 4, 6. Now there's 2 of them, so again, what do we say? Di. What are the name of the group? Methyl. and then without any spaces, octanoic acid. Remember that was the main chain, was octanoic acid with all these other little bits and pieces. So we've got to end with octanoic acid. So let's have a look how this completely describes this molecule. 3 bromo, on carbon number 3 is bromine, 8 chloro, in alphabetical order, 8 chloro, 5 and 7, diethyl, dash, 2 fluoro, dash, we would carry on normally, the dash would continue here, 4, 6, so here's 4, 6, dimethyl, because the M is last in the alphabet, di meaning 2, dimethyl, no space, octanoic acid, and that fully describes this compound. Right, here we have another example of a complicated molecule. Let's see if we can name it using the UPAC conventions. So let's first of all look at what we've got here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carbons long chain. I think you should note that of interest here looks like a functional group. So we know it's going to be not an alkane but an alkene because of the double bond. And we look for the lowest carbon. We see the alkene is closer to this side than that. So we're going to number the carbons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, starting from the right. We don't start in the middle with a functional group. We start on the end closest to the functional group. So this is going to be oct-2-ene, octene, but oct-2-ene. But let's see if we can now add, and I've got here the various groups, the substituents for hydrogen. Each of those is substituted for hydrogen or in the place of hydrogen. Let's see if we can add these little branches on to our main chain. So we're starting alphabetically again. So here's our main chain, that comes last. So what have we got? We got B's, bromines, we got ethyl group, and a methyl group. So we got B, E, M. So we're going to start with the bromines. So what have we got? We got on 7 and 8, 7-8 dash di-bromo. Don't forget the di because there's 2 of them. Right, dash. Now comes the ethyls. 5 and 6, 5, comma, 6. We separate the 2 numbers together with a 6. There's 2 of them, dash, di-ethyl. 4, so dash, 4, there's not 2 of them, so just 4. Methyl, dash, methyl. And then what is the whole chain? It's oct-2-ene. I'm going to write it, see if I can fit it in here. Oct-2-ene. Oct-2-ene. And here we have described the whole molecule. We've left nothing out. So it's 7 and 8 dibromo, 5 and 6 diethyl, 4 methyl, oct meaning there's 8 carbons, 2 meaning the the double bond oct-2-ene, oct-2-ene.